Oh, hi. Welcome to my dev diary. Since it's October, it's spooky season, it seemed like a good time to do the first dev diary for Outsiders. My name's Kyle Frost. I go by Mahelic Online. Let's hop in. First, I wanted to start with some back history on Outsiders. Some of you may have played and tried the original game, which was in the DreadXP Collection 1, the first one. I did Outsiders in about 7 days, and it was a house very similar to this. If you haven't played it, there's a bit of a spoiler at the end, but you played through a house that started as a creepy haunted house, but ended up being like an alien experiment sort of thing. This kind of follows the same premise with like hidden technology and bits, but it's got a massive revamp. 80s theme, painted over. It looks a lot better and had tons more time and polish been put in. It looks great. But the difference with this is now we also have a multiplayer game mode that's taken the center stage for the Outsiders release. Whereas the old school Outsiders was made in about 7 days by just me, this one's been going on for almost 11 months. And I mean, the first fourth maybe was just me, but I've gotten an excellent team together, so I wanted to just kind of run through them with you real quick. So if any of you personally have followed me or any of my handful of games, you'd know that I've pretty much always worked with Jory Stoltz. He's done tons of voice lines and effects, and he's doing that for this game too. Though for this game he's doing more of a audio technician along with voicing a few different characters. As you run through the creepy levels and hear like the thousands of his creepy sound effects, some of my favorite are just some of his radios. So here's an example of one of his radios. Which, I mean, when you're already in a creepy house, the powers come out and you've seen and heard things skittering past the windows. That randomly playing on the radio is it's a pretty good spook. I like it a lot. Although there are some funnier ones. Like this one.
Hey, you! Yes, you! Are you a simple-minded idiot? Looking for parts but don't know where to go?
Yeah.
Well, have I got news for you. Down here at Pete's Parts, we have
Parts for days.
There's just tons of little skits and scary effects and all kinds of stuff you can look forward to from Jory. Next up, we have someone on the publisher side, which is Cleveland, who's done just tons of concept art. Here's an example of the Game Master back before he was modeled. I mean, he looks remarkably similar now. And he's just a pillar of the team throughout, helping concept things like the Stage 4 arena where you face down the Game Master and all the different playable characters. About more than half of these are done, so that's pretty cool. The other ones are getting finalized now, so Cleveland's just done an excellent job with all kinds of color corrections, concept designs, ideas, and just helping the game flow and look good, look unique. So I appreciate him. Next up, we're at the main multiplayer map, the Manor. There's a ton going on here. There's just tons of secret rooms, hidden panels, hidden hallways. From here, I'd like to thank 2 new members of the team, which is William, our junior programmer, who's been helping a lot with all kinds of different multiplayer networking and mechanics, and Milan, who is the leader of most of the 3D modelers and character modelers over in Macedonia. Those are kind of hard to show their direct contributions because, I mean, you'll see William's work when you actually play, and Milan does some modeling, but he also just kind of leads the team and does a lot of the engine work and bringing in the models. So, I mean, the game wouldn't be anywhere where it is without those two. We also got another one of our big members is Stefan, who does the character creation. Here you can see the Game Master. Along with the Game Master, there's also tentacles and tentacle attacks, but those don't actually attach to the direct skeletal mesh. But here's the base character, along with some of the other characters that he's done, also without hair. We also have some of the creatures done by Gotze over in Macedonia. He's done a few more than this, but I don't want to spoil everything. So these are some of the creatures you can expect the Game Master to spawn against you. Another member we have is Victor, who does the music composition. If you've seen some of our teasers, he probably did the music for that, along with the music in the collectible room. Here's a little sample. And tons of other tracks throughout the game, and just absolute bangers. He's done a great job with those. Next on our stop is the Game Master room. This will be the HUD location, or the hub for the Game Master. They'll have stations to summon abilities and creatures. They can send gifts to the contestants. Some may be traps, some might be gifts, depending on the Game Master's objectives. We have an unfinished character, Barry, who's a friendly robot the Game Master can summon to help the contestants solve puzzles throughout the house. They'll have a camera system where they can flip through different cameras of the house to place traps and keep tabs on the different players or the contestants. And there's a hub where the Game Master can get coins from the objectives to buy creatures to actually go in the level and mess up the players, like spiders that can stick to walls and fit in tight spaces and jump on players' faces and such. I brought us here because one of the next members on the team is actually my wife, Jennifer, and she's done a lot of the alien technology models, the consoles, screens, computers, just lots of cool stuff. This thing. So that's been cool. Next on the list is James. He may have only started about 2 weeks ago, but he's been doing an incredible job with coming up with animations and systems. Here you can see one where the Game Master spawned skeletons can actually grab and choke players, and it'll be a sort of an event to break its grasp, along with other spots where things can come alive, and his work is going to be overhauling the game, so it's been great. It's good to see. It's going to be really cool. You guys can stay tuned to future diaries just to see all the stuff he's going to be outputting. Next up is another new member, David, and he's the 2D artist that's currently reworking all of the UI and HUD into a nice clean style. This is our first rework of the pause menu, and a lot of the other UI in the game is going to have a similar kind of vibe. It's looking incredible. It's going to be cool to see it all coming together. And last but not least is Rodden, who has been doing a lot of just cool models throughout the house. This is the bar, which is unfinished, of course, but just lots of cool models coming from him as well. So I've mentioned parts of the game throughout the video, but some of you might be wondering how the gameplay actually works, and I can explain it. So for multiplayer, it's a asymmetric multiplayer horror experience. Although it's probably not going to be, all too scary, but more of I think we'll lean into the silly side a bit, because it's always more fun when it's a little silly. Along with, that's generally how I do most of my games anyways. But it's going to be, I think, 5 contestants, human contestants, trying to escape. A little bit similar to the single player story, but in this case we also have one player who will be a game master. And the purpose of the Game Master is to appease the audience of the intergalactic game show. So this game show is all about bloodshed and chaos. The Game Master has different objectives to hurt, confuse, or help the players. This can be like placing traps on the ground, sending gifts, spawning abilities, and spawning creatures where they can actually go in and harass and kill the players. Throughout the different stages of the map, the house becomes more and more revealed with the alien technology beneath, and the puzzles get more obscure and more interesting. On my other screen, I actually have the Game Master pulled up to spawn a present, and there's tons of different presents and effects. I'll do one real quick just to kind of give you a vibe of the game. So this is one of the presents the Game Master can summon. It could have a ball of spikes that shoots out. It could have a neurotoxin that confuses the player. Or it could just be a stinky cloud, just to toy with the players more. There's lots of different mechanics in this game mode. It's definitely one of the most dense game modes in the game, but I don't want to reveal all too much. There's hidden pathways everywhere, secrets to find, and I don't want to spoil too many of them. Once it, goes public and you can get your hands on it, just expect a super dense house full of secrets and puzzles and traps to explore with your friends. This is the kind of game mode where you don't even need a game master, but sure does make it a lot more fun. So this dev diary is getting pretty long so far, so this is where I'll have to leave you for now. Even though I've only just barely covered the tiniest tip of the iceberg of this game, stay tuned for future dev diaries where we can show you more progress and show you more of the game as we get in depth with it. So that's the end for now. If you want to follow more updates for the game, feel free to follow any of our socials. It's usually under the Classified X or DreadXP. I will be streaming development soon, along with some members of my team if they want. For me personally, it's Twitch/Mahelic. If you want to see some more behind the scenes of the game as it's being developed, ask questions, see some snazzy little secrets, feel free to follow there, and just get ready for the Steam page to come out and wishlist soon, because it's gonna be cool once it comes out. I think we might even do private betas, because it's a lot to test. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. So thanks for watching this long, and I'll see you around. Have a happy Halloween.